Welcome to Mindful Living with Nurse Stacy, where we explore mind, body, and soul wellness through the holistic lens. I'm Nurse Stacy, and I'm here to help you slow down, find balance, and create a life you truly love, one mindful step at a time. So, hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Mindful Living with Nurse Stacy, and I'm so happy you're here. I want you to take a deep breath with me. This episode is going to help us all exhale. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt completely exhausted at the end of the day, but you absolutely can't even pinpoint one big thing that caused it? It's not like you ran a marathon or something, or you dealt with a major crisis. It's just life. The constant notifications coming in all the time from your phone. The constant rushing from one thing to the next. Juggling responsibilities and feeling like there's never enough time. Yeah, that feeling. That's what I call the hidden stress trap. And it's quietly impacting so many of us every single day. So, today we're going to talk about what hidden stress really is and how it shows up in your body, and some simple mindful tools you can start using today to release it, even in the middle of a busy day. Imagine that. In the middle of a busy day, you can start using these tools. So, let me just tell you a little bit about my story. And it's going to be a little empathetic, I hope. I hope it's empathetic because I would be empathetic to anybody else's stories. But when I was working at the bedside as a nurse, I noticed something interesting. And it took me a long time to notice it, but when I noticed it, I would see patients or even talk with some family or friends of the patients who had high blood pressure, stomach problems, even headaches. And often, when I looked at their labs or diets, nothing screamed crisis. There was nothing to indicate that there was something really seriously going on. But when I stop and I ask questions about, hey, how's your daily life? What do you do for a living? You know, what is it that you do every day? That's when I would hear things like, oh my gosh, I barely sleep. I'm always on the go, and I can't turn my brain off. It's like constant thinking all the time. And that's when I realized stress isn't about loud, obvious things. It's sneaky. It builds up in tiny moments throughout the day. The little pressures we barely even notice until something or suddenly our bodies just can't keep up anymore. And I've been there too, so I know personally how heavy that feels and how heavy that can weigh on your body, mind, and soul. So, what exactly is hidden stress? I call them micro stress doses, little tiny stress doses, not macro, just tiny micro stress doses, those tiny constant pressures that we've almost become numb to. Things like checking your email first thing in the morning. How many of us do that? Or just checking your phone. Traffic that makes you late for work or for appointments that you have to be at. Multitasking nonstop, just always doing something. A never ending to do list and notification pings all day long. So, individually, these moments don't feel huge, but they stack up. And over time, they trick your body into living in the fight or flight mode. Even if you don't realize it, living in fight or flight mode can raise the hormone cortisol. Now, maybe you haven't heard about that hormone cortisol, but it's very important. So let's talk about how hidden stresses impact your mind, how they impact your body and your soul. So here's some effects that can happen, or some effects it can have on your mind. Think about this: racing thoughts all the time, going from one thought to another, seemingly endless or uncontrollable. Have you ever tried to shut your mind off? Trouble focusing, that's a biggie. And anxiety that feels like it came from out of nowhere. Now, here's some effects that it can have on your body. And when I say effects that it can have on your body, I'm talking about the cortisol. You can have cortisol spikes. And there's three reasons why cortisol spikes may happen. Number one is called the stress response. And the stress response can consist of emotional stress, pain, fear, or anxiety. And number two, physical stress, like exercising, illness, injury, or low blood sugar. The third one is we all have a natural daily rhythm. Cortisol is normally highest in the morning, about 35 to 45 minutes after awakening. Your cortisol levels awakening has this what you call an awakening response, and the decline throughout the day, and it declines throughout the day. So how long a cortisol level spikes last? There's acute stress spikes, exercise-induced spikes, and chronic stress or repeated triggers. So in acute stress spikes, typically it peaks within minutes, like 10 to 30 minutes after a trigger. And it could last 1 to 2 hours. Imagine that, as your body returns back to normal. And then there's exercise-induced spikes. And they peak during the day, or they peak during or slowly after the activity, usually normalizing within an hour or two. And this is the biggie: chronic stress or repeated triggers. They can cause prolonged, elevated levels lasting days to weeks. Imagine that. Especially abdominal problems going on with your body, causing you to have poor sleep and inflammation. And some of the things that it causes is it could cause you to have high blood pressure, digestive issues, fatigue that coffee cannot fix. And some of the effects it could have on your soul is you can start feeling disconnected or irritable, losing joy in things you used to love doing that you just don't want to do anymore. Always waiting for someday to just slow down. So this constant low level stress can even set the stage for chronic conditions like heart disease, autoimmune flares, and burnout without you realizing stress was the root cause. So how can you identify your hidden stressors? So the first thing you can do, or the first step, is being aware. Awareness, noticing where stress is sneaking in. So ask yourself a question. When do I feel tension in my shoulders? When do I feel tension in my jaws during the day? Are there moments when I suddenly feel drained, even without a clear reason? What small things trigger irritability or anxiety in you? You might notice some patterns. And some of the patterns you could notice is how you feel in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, how are you feeling? And another thing, do certain people affect your mood? Do certain people just get on your last nerve? Or do you find yourself multitasking, taking on too much at one time and not even realizing it, that you just got way too much on your plate? And then another thing, are you constantly answering or checking your phone? I don't know too many people that don't do that. Just answering your phone, like, hey, you paid a phone bill, you can answer it whenever you get ready, and you can get back with people anytime. So another one is like your surroundings. How about that? Your surroundings is they're cluttering your environment. So here's a few things that you can do and observe. You can do these right now. So write down for the week, just observing. Write these things down just for the week, just observing these things without judging them. Don't think about judging anything that you write down. Just write it down. And let's explore some mindful tools that we can do to release some stress. Now, there's 4 simple tools you can try starting today. And one of them is mindful breathing. That means inhaling deeply through your nose for the count of 4. And then simply after 4 counts, just exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. And then try repeating this 3 times. What this does is it signals safety to your nervous system. It's called mini grounding pauses. So you can take some time and look around yourself for this mini grounding pause and name 3 things you can see, 2 things you can hear, and 1 thing you feel. And what this does is it brings you back into the present moment instantly. Imagine that happening instantly. And then another thing, set some micro boundaries, like just little small boundaries, like silencing notifications for 30 minutes on your phone, or schedule a 5-minute pause between tasks. Like if you're busy, just take 5 minutes and just pause. And then protect those small pockets of just being quiet. Quiet. You'll be surprised how all this adds up. And then in the evening, what you can do is you can do this decompression ritual. Write down 1 thing that you're grateful for. Just 1. There are a lot of stuff we can't control. So mentally, at the close of the day, before you go to bed, just mentally begin releasing what you can't control. So I want you to take away something from this practice, something that's going to be really empowering. So here's what I want you to do today. I want you to set a reminder on your phone twice today to remind you to just pause and take 3 deep breaths. That's it. It's simple, it's doable, and most importantly, it is powerful. And you'll be amazed how these tiny acts can shift your energy. So I want to say thank you for joining me today on Mindful Living with Nurse Stacy. And if this episode spoke to you, share it with a friend who could use a mindful pause in their day. And don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss another episode. So until next time, take a deep breath, be kind to yourself, and keep living mindfully.